Just when you thought IGN or Kotaku or Polygon or whatever other third-rate gaming journalist pages out there, you thought they were the worst of the worst? Nope. I think I found the worst fucking take of 2025. Yorch Torch Games, Steam sales and the erosion of value, posted back in December of 2025. For those of you who don't know who Yorch Torch Games is, I envy you. I truly do envy you for that, because I genuinely do not like this person. He's a grifter of the highest order, and I don't mean grifter on the sense of you don't agree with my opinions, therefore you're just a grifter, because you're actually pretending you don't agree with my opinions. No. I mean, a grifter is in the sake of he went from hating Expedition 33, calling it woke DEI slop and terrible and every other ism and ist and whatever, leftist drivel, and then he went to praising it because it was popular. He's a grifter. He only cares about being in the attention. And he loves and absolutely loves to praise his own game he made called Drone Lash, which is not on Steam and is only accessible through some backwater third-rate website that totally, definitely will not steal your credit card information. And it's not good. I'm not playing this game. I'm not paying for this game. I did find footage of it. I will show what it looks like, but it, honest to God, looks like it was made in Microsoft Paint. It looks like one of those free Flash games you would play for like 10 minutes as a kid and then play something better. But okay, let's actually read what he has to say. Destroying gaming, Steam sales, and the erosion of value. Give me a fucking break. Why dirt cheap prices and a backlog you never touch annihilate your interest in gaming. Okay, let's hear what you have to say, douchebag. The best stories are about sacrifices, scarcities, and urgency. The fuck does that have to do with game prices, though? Before the days of digital distribution, we used to participate in a personal story. The story of buying a game. Okay, immediately, this is just annoying me, because here's my story when I went to buy a game. I went and did heavy back-breaking work. I stocked shelves with my grandfather. I split wood. I cut down trees. I mowed lawns. I got cash. And then I had my dad take me to the store and I bought a fucking game. Not much of a fucking story, buddy. Because buying a game was an event. It defined you. It required something from you. Yes, it required that I go do some back-breaking labor, make 50, 60, 70 bucks, and then go buy a fucking game. Get bent. You saved every coin from chores or birthday cash, sure. You begged your parents for a ride or checked magazine ads for sneak peeks. I didn't beg my parents for a ride. I just said, hey Dad, I got the cash I need from the game. Can you drive me up to the fucking Walmart? You called the store 3 times a day, praying they finally got stock. Is that ever a fucking thing? Kinda just seems like you go to the fucking store, they have it, you buy it. If they don't, go back next week. Is this guy seriously nostalgia farming, going to fucking Walmart or Best Buy or fucking GameStop or wherever you went to buy your games? Get real, buddy. You rode your bike across town in the rain or took your first nervous drive with a permit just to stand in the front of the wall that had your game. Can't say I ever did that. Every step was friction. Every step built anticipation. Can you get to the bloody point, you fuckwit? That friction was a ritual. The friction was a ritual. What the fuck is this guy talking about? And when you finally grasped that game before going to the counter, you could pursue other games with amazing covers and hyped up descriptions. But your resources were limited. You only had $50.99 plus tax. That was it. Just one game to take home. I guess. I mean, as a kid, I didn't always buy the $50 or $60 game brand new. Sometimes I had to buy used or wait for a sale. That's just life. But I don't get why you're romanticizing the act of going to a fucking store just for a game. That's fucking stupid. Sacrifice, Scarcity, urgency. Was it really that scarce? Or it definitely wasn't that urgent either. Get real, buddy. Let's dive deeper into why digital online sales destroyed your interest in gaming, why games no longer feel like they used to, and what you should be doing if you're an indie developer. Oh my god. Okay, and here he is sucking his own dick. Reminder that you can support my mission to fix gaming and get tons of members-only content for just a few dollars a month. Go fuck yourself. I mean that in the most genuine way possible. Please, go fuck yourself. It's bad enough I'm giving you my time. I'm not giving you my fucking money either. The scarcity principle. Dun dun dun. One of the foundational ideas in marketing psychology, popularized by Robert Cialdini's work in Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion, is that people assign higher value to things that are scarce or limited. Not necessarily. Value is entirely subjective. What some people see as incredibly valuable, others will see as worthless and not worth their time. Just because something is rare does not mean it is valuable. When games were harder to access, buying a single title like Contra required saving up allowance or a trip to a specialty store. They felt like treasures even if the games themselves weren't masterpieces. This guy seriously talking shit about Contra? That's a skill issue. The effort and rarity created anticipation and emotional investment. No, just saving your money and waiting for something you really, really wanted is where the emotional investment came from. It being scarce or expensive didn't have an impact on that. In contrast, today's gaming landscape triggers the opposite effect. Psychological devaluation. When something is everywhere and costs next to nothing, it loses its special status, leading to reduced interest. Is this motherfucker really trying to gatekeep gaming as a luxury only for the rich? I don't want to make that assumption, but that sounds really stupid. Like, gaming is a luxury. Let's be completely fucking honest with ourselves. Gaming is a luxury. It is not a necessity. It is not something that is outright required for your survival. It's a hobby. That being said, he's phrasing this really fucking weird, and games shouldn't be such exorbitant prices. There's nothing special about subscription services. I do agree with that. I will agree that subscription services can die in a fucking hole. Effort, justification. We tend to value things more when we've invested time, money, or effort into obtaining them. It's a human phenomenon. Okay, that's true. It is. When you put time and effort into saving up your money to buy something you really want, you have an emotional investment to that. But the cost of it doesn't have an impact on that. I get emotionally invested when I put my Gundams together. It could be one I spent $50, $60, $70 on. It could be one I spent $20 on. That's still investment I'm putting into it. How much I'm paying for it is not indicative of that. Indicative? Whatever. It's not a major point of it. This cognitive bias is known as effort justification. It is rooted in Leon Festinger's cognitive dissonance theory. What the fuck does... I don't even know what that is. I'll put it on screen or something. Let me look that up. Leon Festinger's theory of cognitive dissonance from 1957 persists that people experience psychological discomfort, dissonance, when holding conflicting beliefs, attitudes, or behaviors, motivating them to reduce this tension by changing one of the elements, adding new beliefs, or trivializing the conflict to restore internal consistency. What does changing things up about your hobbies or habits have to do with games costing less? If games are so unreasonably expensive, that means you're going to buy less and enjoy the hobby at a lesser degree. Games being exponentially expensive will kill interest in gaming, or any hobby for that matter. Just because you spend more on something doesn't mean you're going to be more emotionally attached to it. In fact, if it costs too much, you won't be able to get it. Back when games were pricey and required physical hunting or waiting lists, we as players rationalized our investments by immersing ourselves deeply, replaying content, This resulted in a greater satisfaction. Yeah, I'm all for physical games, and you can replay a game as many times as you like, but you can still do that if you pick it up on a sale. You can replay a game as many times as you want. A friend of mine's replaying the Assassin's Creed franchise up to Syndicate. I'm doing the same thing, but it's my first playthrough for most of it, but I replay games all the time. I've replayed the Jak and Daxter and Sly Cooper trilogy more times than I care to fucking count. I didn't pay much for those games. Again, even if the game wasn't a masterpiece, I clearly remember my parents allowed me to dawdle for hours in my favorite local game store, and I asked them how to buy Trick Style for the Sega Dreamcast after months of doing household chores and finishing my homework on time. You got an allowance? I didn't get a fucking allowance. If I wanted money, I had to do extra chores. I had to split wood, mow the fucking lawn, cut a tree down. That's fucking privilege, my dude. The game was by no means an excellent title, but I spent dozens of hours on it because of the effort it took me to finally get it. When games became dirt cheap or free, this justification vanishes. Okay, so because you can get a game on sale, that takes away your satisfaction of getting it? Again, that does not make sense. If anything, you could be excited that a game you really, really fucking want and have been saving for months to pick up is on a Steam sale where you're able to not only buy that game you want, you're able to get another game with it. That's a good thing! Why grind through a game or appreciate its nuances when you can download dozens for almost nothing? This leads to choice overload, a concept by Barry Schwartz's The Paradox of Choice, where too many low-barrier options cause decision fatigue and shallow engagement. Again, that sounds like a you problem. That sounds more like you are uninvested in what you're doing. There have always been low-quality games. That's always been a thing. That doesn't mean just because a game is cheap means it's low quality. Your game is low quality, but I don't even know what you charge for it. I'm gonna have to look into that whenever I actually get to the end of this. I have to look and see what his game costs. Have you been scrolling on for hours on Netflix or Game Pass without knowing what to watch or play? Yeah, that's choice overload, and it leads to total apathy. Maybe that's because of piddling mediocre products. Some people just look for one particular thing they want, and if it's not on there, they don't play it or watch it. I've also been able to try different games through Game Pass to decide if I want it or not. So, again, this is a you problem. The habituation effect. Here's a highly destructive habit. You already know that every year digital stores like Steam and GOG will have a sale, and that's a good thing. It's no longer a surprise, and even if there's some allure of intensive anticipation, you know that every single year the same thing will happen. You'll buy a bunch of games that will end up in your backlog forever. I'll get to them eventually, but that's fucking stupid. Yeah, I have a backlog of games, and you want to know why? I work for a living, you fucking retard. Guess what? You could have choice overload all the same at a physical game store. There could be dozens of games on a shelf and you don't know which one you want to buy or play. It's the same fucking thing! The difference is one's digital, the other's physical. And the worst thing is that you don't have any incentive to play those games because you already bought them effortlessly during an event where you knew you'd be paying for them. It's boredom and predictability at their worst. Is this guy pissy because Steam wouldn't host his game? Probably. But Steam sales or sales on GOG aren't a bad thing. It just means if money's tight, you're on a very strict budget, being able to pick up a game on a sale isn't a bad thing. Oh, when I was a kid, I bought most of my games used because that was the only way I could afford them. That's just how life is. Just because something costs more doesn't mean it's good. Case in point, Avowed! Most modern games nowadays, let's be real. Avowed, fucking Outer Worlds, Veilguard, Assassin's Creed Shadows, all those games are $60 or $70. None of them are good, but they cost more. You'll hate what I have to say, but here's the brutal truth. If you're an indie developer, you need to stop underpricing your games and charge more for them. Go fuck yourself. Don't go on sale just because others are doing it. Go fuck yourself. Lower prices lead to a race to the bottom that will lead to the complete annihilation of the industry. Go fuck yourself. There won't be any incentive for investors to devote millions of dollars chasing the next Fortnite only to fail miserably. Absolutely go fuck yourself. I don't think any indie developer is trying to be the next Fortnite. It's ludicrous you would even say that. Look, Silk Song broke digital storefronts. Hollow Knight Silk Song, a $20 indie game, broke digital storefronts. Steam, PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, all of them were fucking crashing and locking out because of how many people were rushing to buy a $20 Metroidvania. That's excitement. That's anticipation. That is something people fucking want. And Silk Song is by no means a failure. It won Best Action Adventure at the Game Awards. What has your game accomplished other than total mediocrity? And if you're a player, stop buying games during sales. Absolutely go fuck yourself right up the ass, buddy. I don't have the luxury of spending $60, $70, $80 on a fucking game every week. Or even every month. I, like most people, work for a living. And I can only pick up a game when it's on sale or or on a rollback. Or used. That's life. It is very rare that I buy a game at full price. Go fuck yourself. Avoid the cheap dopamine you get for buying something that's dirty cheap. You won't play it, yes I will. You'll forget about it the moment it sits in your backlog. No I won't, because another sale will eventually come along and you won't be supporting game devs in any way. Buying games does not support game devs. He actually just fucking said that. Remember, sacrifices, scarcity, urgency. Go fuck yourself. These are psychological ingredients that make gaming a memorable experience. And if you enjoyed this article and want to learn how to fix gaming, you're damn sure not going to do it, while building your own game studio, make sure to subscribe to my Substack. Go fuck yourself. You'll learn more about the game industry, game design, and how to build an audience online, create games, and sell them. Your audience are a bunch of parasocial sycophants who are just massive rage-baiting douchebags. I don't think your fan base is anything to stand by. Like, you are a fucking douchebag. Now then, let's look at Drone Lash. Yeah, you can get it on Gumroad. I don't know what it costs. Apparently, it says 2+. And I'll be real, it looks like it was made in Microsoft Paint. I bought, this is totally a real review for Drone Lash. I bought Drone Lash because Reddit wouldn't shut up about it, and now my life is different. I'll be honest, I only clicked this because half of Reddit was having a collective aneurysm over the word Drone Lash. I don't know who Yorch Torch is, and I envy you. I don't know why every subreddit is foaming at the mouth about this experience, and at this point I'm too afraid to ask, but here's what I already know. This $2 game has single-handedly delivered more entertainment than every $70 AAA release this year combined. The moment I downloaded it, it felt like I was participating in something forbidden. Like I was joining a secret society, like I had been chosen by the algorithmic gods to witness the most important $2 event in gaming history. Reddit, what the hell is Drone Lash? Me now. The chosen one, the gameplay, transcendent. I don't even know if I understood what was happening. I don't think anyone is supposed to. That's the art of it. It's like reading Nietzsche's through a kaleidoscope. The lore impeccable, absolutely airtight. I don't think Drone Lash even has lore, but the sheer vibe convinced my brain that lore must be occurring somewhere. Spiritually, the price, $2. In this economy, where a cup of coffee is $7 and joy is $20 a month, Yorch Torch out here distributing entertainment for pocket change. That is totally a real review. Not woke at all. Great game. Fantastic. Like, these are not real reviews. Let's be fucking real with ourselves. These are not real reviews. Hand-drawn 2D shmup inspired of the Shmup? Shmup. A hand-drawn 2D shmup inspired by the golden age of gaming. What the fuck is a shmup? Do you mean shoot 'em up? This looks like a fucking... The game looks like one of those free flash games you would play for like 10 minutes before you went and played something better. These are not real reviews. These are not real. This game looks like it was made in Microsoft Flash. Microsoft Flash and Adobe Flash. This game looks like it was drawn on fucking Microsoft Paint. And for the record, no, the game is not on Steam. In fact, you look up Drone Lash, you have 0 search results. I get the feeling that this may not be a real product. Just gonna say that now. I don't think it's a real product. But yeah, that's... I don't even know what to make of this. This was the worst 20 minutes of my life. Man, this is fucking stupid.